A lot of my work comes from that strong, I suppose, storytelling background. It's grounded by personal, sort of stories, by myths and legends, and then, sort of a hybrid sort of crossover of a number of those. A lot of the works, while they seem, very aesthetically, sort of composed, there is actually a number of different layers that, sort of audiences, I suppose, have to sift through to actually realise the full narrative of one individual work. My first artistic practice is drawing. I think that's, it's quite obvious when you look at a lot of my output, a standard drawing, a lino cut, or, any other form of printmaking, even down to sculpture. And, I've got mountains and mountains of, sketchbooks that have a whole stack of, sort of drawing in it from time to time. Often I'll start with good old lino cut, one particular image, and over the course of, sort of drawing up that image on the block, and then initially start to carve it, I'll then, sort of overlay it with other mythology, other little, I suppose, motifs and, sort of icons that then, sort of connect it to other, I suppose, histories. The three works that I have in Defying Empire really look at my sculptural and installation, sort of practice within my overall, sort of arts practice. There are two ball-based installation pieces and a freestanding installation construction sort of sculpture. Is actually called Picasso's Lago Mineral, and it's actually, I suppose, pays homage to a number of different things. Firstly, with the use of Picasso, it references, the magnificent, sort of artistry of that artist. Particularly his Cubist sort of period. And when you actually look at the work itself, it's a large red and black cube, but the cube is made of these 16 various sort of spike forms that are all, sort of hand carved with traditional patterning from the Torres Straits. Lago Mineral actually means island designs, so it references, like I said, a lot of the traditional patterning from the Torres Straits on these pieces. The first wall-based piece is a work called Custodian of the Blooms, and it looks at, I suppose, traditional gardening practices in the Torres Strait, and how a lot of the inherited lands for, sort of certain, sort of clans and, sort of families entailed, sort of a lot of respect for, sort of past ancestors, and how those, sort of past ancestors influenced rainfall, good crop yields and things like that. So it's a large installation which is comprised of 10 various flowering forms. So they look like large sort of flowering cogs, basically, with a dancing figure sitting to one side. So it's basically him dancing around, this crop of flowers. For me, sort of personally, to be a part of the Defying Empire exhibition at the National Gallery of Australia is a huge honour, actually. Not only to as an individual artist to exhibit at Australia's most prestigious and premier, sort of visual art institution, but the exhibition itself, sort of Defying Empire, what it actually stands for, as well as the significance of its connection to other major anniversaries, for Indigenous people around this country. In terms of the work that I've produced for the exhibition itself, if you look at that, the defiance that actually comes through within those works, but it's purely a celebration of what it's like to be, an Indigenous person, within this country, here and now. And it's I suppose it's a way of me putting my foot forward in terms of saying that a lot of the policies from sort of back in the day, assimilation policies and things like that, while they were in place, and a lot of the sort of atrocities that did occur, it didn't dampen sort of the Indigenous spirit, which is still sort of strong and alive today. And this is, what a lot of my works actually, sort of celebrate, is that, we are still here. We are still, sort of forging ahead very strongly into the future.